Hi, everybody, and welcome to Final Play Sports Wrap. I'm your host, Pete Lubar, and today we're talking MWC basketball. Before we get started today, I just want to give you a programming note. I personally have never really understood the NIL and the ins and outs, how it works, how players are getting paid, how they were used in recruiting, so all those kind of things. And I happen to have an expert in my network. And I've invited Kurt Roth, who is the president of the New Mexico Sports Venture Foundation. And he's going to join me this week. And we're going to drop another release on Thursday or Friday. And hopefully you'll want to tune in and help yourself understand that. It's going to be a little bit longer session, about 30 minutes. I usually try and keep these to about 10. But I think this is important enough. We're going to talk about the House settlement and where we see things going. So should be really, really interesting, and I highly encourage you to join us for that. And so keep tuned for that. A lot of noise this week from people like myself speculating that in March, after the ruling on the Pac-12 MWC antitrust case, that the Pac-12 would be announcing the additions of two members from the Mountain West, UNLV and Nevada. Apparently, there has been some discussions on this, and also some back-channel discussions about a merger between the two conferences still being discussed. Apparently, the media rights deal that the Pac-12 is looking for is falling short of what they thought it would be. It's going to be probably $8 million or less per year. And they can't find a major media partner other than the CW who's really interested in it. And it looks like the deal with the MWC is going to be in that same ballpark. So both conferences are going to struggle a bit for money and be way behind all the other conferences. So it's not ideal to have two conferences sharing a pot of money like that. Especially if they were to merge, they would be able to increase the value substantially for all that programming, because they'd have essentially the entire Western United States locked up. So Gloria Nevares, the commissioner of the Mountain West, put out a statement this weekend or 5 days ago to dispel the rumor, and has said that they have a signed contract for the teams, the 7 established members of Bill of Rights, through June 30th of 2032. So it would be very difficult for UNLV to leave unless they were to get a pile of money from the Pac-12. And the only way the Pac-12 is going to have a pile of money to give is if they win the antitrust case. And most experts in the legal profession don't feel like they have much grounds to do that. They're using it more. The lawsuit is really just about negotiating ploy and trying to negotiate down some of the fees that they owe. So that's the latest on that. Now, I was watching another show, the Monty Show, which I think is a really good show. The media right deal would be much greater interest to Fox and CBS, which are currently partners with the Mountain West, if the two conferences would merge. And once again, that's about locking up that late night content for the East Coast, and it would have a much better number, more like 15 to 20 million per school if they could get that versus the 8 that we're currently looking at. So enough about that. It was a good week to be a Lobo. Not only did they have a full week to prepare for their big game against Utah State, which would determine who's in first place in the conference, they also gave the Aggies a spanking in front of a sold-out partisan crowd in Logan. The Lobos, led by Mustafa Amzil and Donovan Dent, beat the Aggies. The Lobos won 82-63 to beat the Aggies by 19, turning what was a sort of close game in the first half into a blowout in the second half. Aggies were their own worst enemies. They shot a dreadful 5 from 31 from three-point range. They were only 11 for 25 or something like that from the free throw stripe. So they left a lot of points on the table, but they lost at home, and never a good thing in our conference to lose at home. Lobos dominated the boards 48-33. Nelly Jr. Joseph nabbed 13 for the Lobos. The win propels the Lobos to 10-1 in conference and drops the Aggies into second place at 9-2. Earlier in the week, the Aggies redeemed their previous only loss to UNLV, and they beat UNLV in Logan. UNLV now has lost 4 in a row after losing as well to Nevada this weekend. CSU only played once this week. They drilled Air Force 79-58 behind with 22 from Nick Clifford. Continues to impress. San Diego State won a pair of games this week with a nail-biter over San Jose, 71-68, and an equally scary game against Wyoming, 63-61. In the San Jose State game, San Jose had a 19-point lead in the first half and a 12-point lead with less than 10 minutes to go before San Diego State came roaring back and took the lead with about 5 minutes to go, held on for the win. Against Wyoming, they trailed by 9 with 6 minutes to go, but 2 minutes later had taken the lead on a Miles Bird jump shot and held on for the victory. So a couple of close calls for San Diego State, but they did win both of those games. Boise also won a pair of games last week. They beat Nevada at home and then beat Fresno by 22. In the Fresno State game, Andrew Meadow, who shaved his hair and has a whole new look, scored 20 points on his new do, obviously letting him play much better. So we take a look at the standings now. New Mexico with a full game lead now over Utah State. Colorado State is a game and a half back, and San Diego State is 2 games back. So those are the 4 teams that are really still right there. I guess you could say Boise State at 7-4 is still right there, but has to make up 3 games in 10 or 3 games in 9 now. So might be tricky, but they do play everyone ahead of them, so we'll see. And then the kind of play-in game guys are the group at the bottom here, UNLV, Nevada, and Wyoming and San Jose, and they're just kind of jockeying for position. They're all really close. And then you've got Fresno State and Air Force who are just having difficult seasons. CSU plays at New Mexico on Wednesday and then gets San Diego State at home on Saturday. So not an easy week for CSU. Boise travels to UNLV on Tuesday, probably the only other game that people will watch with interest. So we'll see how those go. From a net standpoint, Utah State 39. New Mexico with their win jumps to 46. Ironically, they're 1 spot behind 10-loss North Carolina. University of North Carolina is 1-9 in quad 1 games. Its only quad 1 win was against UCLA, which they beat by 2 on a neutral court. New Mexico also beat UCLA by 8 in a game that was never that close. It was a 12 to 15 point game the whole day, right from the beginning, and yet and let up a little bit. New Mexico let up a little bit at the end, and UCLA came back, but still lost by 8. So New Mexico, who has 4 losses, 2 quad 1 wins, 7 quad 2 wins, is still in the net behind North Carolina. I don't know how North Carolina can still be in the field. It's crazy. Anyhow, San Diego is 48th and Boise is 49th. So you have 4 teams in the top 50. And then you have CSU and Nevada at 76 and 77 respectively. From a bracketology standpoint, if you follow Lunardi, and this is being dropped on a Monday, so it will not have the latest bracketology that reflects the weekend results, where half of the top 25 lost, but they have Utah State as an 8 seed, and New Mexico and San Diego have both slipped to 11 seeds and are in the last 4 in category. So we're going to see some changes tomorrow when it comes out, the latest bracketology, but right now the Mountain West is in danger of being a 1-bid league. and that would be disappointing. I still think they're going to be a 2 or 3 bid league, but we don't know yet. So we're going to be watching with interest for the next 4 weeks, and there'll be some nail biting, I think, going on in Mountain West gyms over the next couple of weeks. Anyhow, just once again remind you on the programming note that we will have Kurt Roth of the New Mexico Sports Foundation Venture, who runs the NIL for New Mexico. But we're not going to spend much time on New Mexico. We're going to spend time talking about how NIL works and all the machinations that go with it. And I think it'll be very interesting. So keep your eyes open for that. I hope you enjoyed this session. If you did, please subscribe to my YouTube page. And if you need to contact me, my contact information follows this video. Thanks so much, everyone, and have a great day.